Hi, now we would like to see the difference between a constructor and a method. The constructor, the first difference we can go for. Constructor is a block of code. Constructor is a block of code. Block of code used to assign values to class members. This is the first point. The same thing will also applicable for the method also. Same thing will also applicable for method. Both are same in terms of the block structure. So we can go for method is a block of code used to assign values to the class members and also implement the business logic. If necessary, we can also implement the business logic. Implement the business logic. Business logic means the requirements of the constructor. What the purpose of the constructor? So that we can come here, that is called a business logic. And same is applicable to our method also, and also implement the business logic. I'm just copying here where to see that the difference is same. Then what is the, whenever both are same, then what are the main differences here? Constructor name matches with constructor name must be same name with the class. Must be same name with the class. Now here for a method name should be other than the class name. Should be other than the class name. Other than the class name means we can't give. Excuse me, we can't give the keywords or any library function names to our user defined methods. So that is a take you have to take a little bit of care when giving the method name. Now then we go for constructor does not have return type. Constructor does not have any return type. Constructor does not have return type. Method have a return type. Method should have return type. Return type. Even method is not returning any value. Even method is not returning any value. Then it should be any value. Then it should be the return type is void. That is the cap. And one more point here. At the time of object creation, constructor code will execute. Now here through already existing object, we can call the other class methods. We can call the class methods, not other class, the class methods through dot operator. That is the point you have to note. One more point for when you speak about the difference between method and a constructor. Last point, constructor, the parent class constructor never inherited by the child class. A parent, when you come into the inheritance, we can understand a parent constructor, a parent class constructor never inherited by its child class. Now, but here a parent class method can be inherited in its child class. A parent class, not a constructor here. Method can inherited in child class by its child class. That is called overridden. That is called overridden. Whenever the method name is same and arguments are same, return type is same, then it is called a overridden method. Its version can be changed in the child class. This is a simple one where we have to see that the difference between the constructor and a method. After learning this one, we have to go for what is the other things will be there in Java to learn. So after completing all these things, we have to learn what is meant by method overloading and what's meant by constructor overloading. What's meant by method overloading and constructor overload. We can go for method overload. Overload is the meaning that overload means many more versions. Many more versions. Versions means I am speaking that. So a method with the one argument, the version is different. The method with the two argument, that the version is different. The method with the two integer argument, the version is different. The method with the two double data type, the version is different. All these called versions. That means this is the method I am calling apple. So apple with no argument and no return, it is version is different. So the version is one version. Some version will be there. That is a one version. And the same thing I can go for int apple one integer argument. This is another version. A new version will be there. Now, and the same thing when you go for double data type, and apple is the one where you can go for double is the argument, This is the another version. See how many versions are there means three versions are there. So with respect to this, the method can be have different executions, different number of statements to execute the program. So what is meant by method overloading? What's meant by method overload? What's meant by method overloading means when method name is same, when method name is same, and some difference in its signature, some difference in its signature, signature means in the sense return type and arguments. That is called signature. When method name is same and some difference in its signature is called method overloading. Sir, can you give an example? Yes, I am here to give example at any case. So this is the program where you can see the method overloading. So here I am taking the class is the data, class method over. I maintain the class name as a method over. Method over is the one. Now it is the one version with integer data type. Now it is the method overloading first version. So method overload with the first version. Version 1. I can maintain like this, version 1. So here, whenever this will be executed, when you supply it is in one argument, and this is another version, second version, whenever the method will be there for two arguments. And the third one will be there. Now I am speaking with this one, where we can go for, it will be, so another third version, whenever you supply the double data type, So let us understand this one. This is the method of a one argument, that is integer data type. This is the method version of the two integer data type. This is the method version of a two double data type. Now everything when you observe once here, all these cases the method name is same. What is your method name? Data. What is the method name? Data. And where it is changing? It is changing with respect to our here one argument, here two arguments, and here three arguments, and here double is the return type, and it is the return type, and here one is the other return type. When you compare with one with another, when you compare the versions one with another, then it should be a different, then it should be having some difference. This method have a different signature with this method. This method is having a different signature with this method. Then it is called method overloading. So inside one class, when method name is same and different type of signature, then it is called method overloading. I can execute this program to understand in one peaceful nature. So I am executing the program. I saved the program with the program 6. I am executing that one with the program Java C followed by program 6.java. And it is executing. I am calling the program. I am calling the program where I am passing the data. So I create an object of MV of method over class. I am calling the MV data. It is returning an integer value. When it is returning an integer value, it will be supplied to here. So this return type will be goes to the p variable, and I am printing here the p variable. The MV data with the two integer arguments also produce return value that is given to R, and the MV data with the two double data type arguments is assigning a new value to the double S, and I am printing one by one. Now, after compilation of this one, I am executing the program by giving the command as a Java followed by the class name, main method class name program 6. So the return value of data method one argument is 5. The return value of data method with one argument, the return value of data with the two argument, I am giving 45 into 20, 45 into 56, that is the value of 2520. And finally, whenever you give the 3.14 divided by 1.2, that is the method version of two double data type arguments, and return is giving 82.83 something. So this is how we are executing our methods, our overloaded methods in one by one. One by one, that you have to understand. When we speak about the method overloading, it is the smallest concept and easiest concept, and it will be very, very useful in your examination point of view. Now, I'm here to know whenever we learn the method overloading, the same is applicable for constructor overloading. When we speak about with respect to method, we can speak about the same thing for a constructor overload. So what is the constructor overload? We know what's meant by constructor. A name is given to the block which is same as to the class name, and it does not have any return type. So it is called a constructor. Constructor mainly used for assigning the values to the data members and also implement the business logic. Now I am speaking about here constructor overloading. Constructor overloading. For our safety precautions, I am writing the one called test. I am creating an object of, I am creating a constructor of an A. Which one? Here I am taking a two integer data members of a class, and I am taking two m comma n as integer arguments. Now, whenever the constructor code will be executed, it takes the m value and given to x and given to x, and the value of n is given to y, and the value of n is given to y. So this is the block of code used to assign the values of class members. A block of code, the taken values is given to the class members, that you have to know. And finally, what's meant by overload constructor? What's meant by overloaded constructor? It is a simple thing. Inside the class, we are having a constructor. Based on the parameters, the constructor have different versions. So this is the no parameters. It's a one version. I'm writing the one more one where integer as a one argument, and one more version where I can go for two integer arguments. What is the definition of a constructor? And one more version, the test followed by double A, and another one is int b. The first argument is a double data type, and second argument is a integer data type. This version will be executed. And the fourth version I'm speaking here, test followed by where the string two objects, string s1 comma string s2. So these are the, whenever we speak, when we see all this one, we are having a good approachment here. So where the constructor name is same, and that is matching with the class name, with respect to the argument, it is producing different types, different style of execution. When you pass a zero argument, when you call the zero argument constructor, it will execute some lines of code which will be different with these lines of code. So when you pass the two arguments, it will be having a different style of approachment to do the something whenever the one double data type argument and one integer argument. And this is the code where we can go for two string arguments. Observe here in the each and every case where here the method, the blocks names Test is the block name, 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 which is similar to the class name. Then it is called constructor overload. For any constructor, we does not provide, Java does not take any return type. That you know. Now we can go for with a small program where I can see this is the program I written the one more program called method, sorry, constructor override. So I write here constructor override. I can go for constructor, Constructor. So constructor over is the class name. The same name I have given to the all the all the all the constructors, where only I written the three constructors, constructor over, constructor over, constructor over. So this is the version of one integer argument. This is the version of two integer argument. This is the version of two double arguments. And I'm creating the respective objects to call the zero argument constructor, to call the one argument constructor, to call the two argument constructor of integer data type, and finally a constructor with a two argument of double data type. Now for each object creation, observe that the number of parameters are changing from one to the other. Here's a one parameter, here two parameters, and both are integers, and here two parameters where both are what are the here double data type, both are double data type, both are double data type. So all this is that the methods can be executed with a different number of return type and arguments, but the constructor overloading is purely depending on the number of arguments. So this is the small program where I given a demonstration on this one. And one more point, how it will be executing. Let us go for, so how to it will be executing. This will be executing this version. It will be where the formal arguments and actual arguments are both are matching. This will be executed based on the parameters which you are passing to constructor definition. So that version will be executed. And after knowing this one, I am trying to execute these lines of code, and I saved the program. So and I am saving the program with a name called program 7. So it will be executing here the program Java C program 7.java. So it is successfully compiled, and next statement is I am ready to execute, and the same thing. Here the constructor with one argument is 36. What is the result here? You are passing any two values. The two values will be. So here I am writing 6. 6 square is 36. 6 square is 36. That will be printed here. 1020s are the constructor definition. I written that 1020s are 200. And 20 by 3.20.3 by 4.5, this is the value. So like that, the constructors will be executed. So in this video, we are learning that what is the difference between constructor and a method. The difference between constructor and a method. This is the differences. And we learn what is the overload constructor, followed by what's mean by the overloaded method. The two things will be there. So in the next video, we will meet with the other things. What will happen with this keyword? What mean by this keyword? That will be in the next video. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks to each and everyone.